You are all out of money. You've hit rock bottom. $0 left in the bank. What do you do at that point? How does a compulsive gambler ever get back from all the losses? How do they get out of debt? If you've gotten, like I have, to the point of having a compulsive gambling addiction, if you gamble, no matter what it is, for a long period of time, you will get to the point where you will get yourself in financial trouble. That's just a fact. I appreciate it. I know I've had various comments from people on the channel. Something as simple as, why don't you just stop? Or, I don't understand how this is the same as, drinking or other addictions out there. Isn't it really just a personal problem that you didn't know when to quit? And I'll also get people that will come on the channel that will say, I'm heavy into gambling. I've been for years and I win. I would say a couple things to those people that have had that success. If I was in your shoes right now, knowing what I know, and you're saying you've gambled a lot and you've won, I would walk away right now if I were you. Because gambling, just for all of us, just to clear all the air, is designed for us not to win. You would not have gambling establishments the size of what they are, that all look like mega mansions and palaces, if you won, right? That's just not real. You're not going to see Harrah's, you're not going to see Caesars, the Bellagio, these massive hotels, these beautiful fountains, 800 restaurants in them, beautiful, beautiful rooms. The most beautiful rooms I've seen for just basic hotels, in my opinion, that you basically are never in them if you're a gambler, right? You sleep in them a couple hours at best, but they are beautiful for a reason, because they've made a lot of money. I've talked about the movie Casino before. Love that movie with Robert De Niro, and just seeing how he ran that casino. Joe Pesci. They ran it to make money. I remember him yelling at the one dude at the slot machines that we've had 3 jackpots pay out. What's going on? You're not paying attention to your area. Casinos don't want to lose money. Or if they had a wealthy guy come in, they showed the one wealthy guy come in from Asia, made a lot of money, and it ticked him off, so they made sure his plane didn't fly out the next day, so he came back and lost money. Casinos want to win. So if you're at a point where you're saying, yeah, I've gambled a lot and I've won, I would pat yourself on the back right now and say, I'm an anomaly. I'm one of those rare people that has done well, and I would find something else to do, because it's only right around the corner. If you gamble enough, like for me, I would gamble to the point of 16 plus hours a day. You can't go at that level and be a winner. And so if you've gone that long and you're not a winner, like myself, and I've dealt with a gambling addiction since 2006. Thankfully, many years of that through being in meetings that I've been not gambling. But for the periods where I was hardcore gambling, I built up a lot of debt. That is the same story of almost any compulsive gambler that's out there. Someone that goes to a gambling addiction, if you're day in, day out, you are going to lose. And if you say that you keep winning, if you say that I'm 20 hours a day gambling and I'm still winning, you're either really bad at keeping receipts or you're the luckiest person I know. But let's say that you are on my side of things and you've lost a lot of money. What do you do? It's not about getting that money back, but how, if you have decided I want to stop gambling, how do you ever restore the finances if you have completely blown them apart? While the deep part of a gambling is your personality traits and what you've done, how you've changed as a person through your addiction, a lot of that needs to change, and your lifestyle, what almost always gets someone to a meeting is that the finances are in a terrible shape. I mean, they are as bad as possible. You've racked up 3 credit cards, a couple loans. You don't even know how you're going to make your next mortgage payment, kind of thing. How do you ever get that back? I will tell you the shortest, kind of simplest answer to get started with that is simply by stopping gambling. You're giving yourself an instant pay raise. I've heard this over and over in meetings that I've attended, but The minute you decide to stop gambling, you're giving yourself a raise because you are going to guarantee that the bleeding has stopped at whatever number you're looking at. And to take that as the first win, you don't have money going out the door like it was, continuing to make that debt worse. The minute that you stop gambling, you finally plug that hole that's bleeding everywhere. You finally stop that. You can start the process. You can't really start the process of healing the finances in your first 30 days, 60 days, or even 90 days. Because a lot of your thoughts will be to either gamble again and relapse, or to try to get it through a get-rich-quick scheme, or something that's not a good idea, not a sound idea to just steadily get back. I can tell you this last round for me with gambling was the worst ever. I mean, it took so much from me, physically, mentally, but certainly for my wife and I, our family, it hit the finances badly. They basically say in a lot of these meetings, it's not great to get bailouts. I mean, on a simplest level, if you have a wealthy parent or someone else out there that's saying, I'll give you $100,000 and you pay me back in payments, I mean, you better be devoted to paying those back, but that's a rare miracle that you have something like that. For the rest of us out there that don't have an option, it is very, very helpful. You can talk with someone at a meeting or to talk with a financial advisor about what do I do? Because bankruptcy is not always the right answer, and it's very rarely the right answer for people as far as destroying credit and all of that. What I can tell you from my own experience that helps significantly is negotiating with the companies that you owe debts to. Credit cards, loans, you can tackle it from a couple ways. One, mine was so bad this last time that we did a debt consolidation loan. I had so many loans and so many credit cards that I had built up that I ended up working with a company that did a whole debt consolidation loan, looked at everything that you have, and they will tell you if there's any companies, any credit card companies or any specific loan companies that they cannot work with. For the vast majority, they can do everything and then work you down to one payment. And it's going to hurt your credit for a while, which it has for me, where you will basically not be paying any of these loans back. For about a 6-month period of time, you're not going to make a single payment, and that's where your credit's going to get killed even more than it might already be low anyway, but it'll kill your credit for a bit. But what they do is they take all those loans and they put them in to a program for you, and they start negotiating the debts. And they can negotiate them sometimes in half for you versus what you owe. In my case, the amount of debt that we had was, the payments for them, were like $9,500 a month between everything. They took all of those and they put them into a loan program, repayment program with them, and we were paying $4,500 a month. So $5,000 a month savings for us to be able to tackle it. I mean, that's a massive savings. We were going to be completely underwater without. Almost 600 days later, they now just have 4 loans, 3 loans and a credit card for me. All of them have been negotiated with the creditors. I took 3 loans out from it, and I was able to negotiate the other 3 loans myself with them to say, can you work with me? Because once they know you're not going to pay them over a long period of time, they'll start working with you. If they're like, well, if the answer is nothing or this guy's going to go into bankruptcy or whatever, they start working with you. So I took 3 loans out. The other 4 are still in the debt consolidation. The debt consolidation has 4 negotiated. All those companies that we owed, they've all accepted, okay, you owed $30,000, we'll accept $15,000, and you'll make these payments. My payment is now $2,500 a month with them, and I will have all of those loans settled in a year. One will be paid off in January, another kind of flows from there based on their payment time frame. And then the other 3 places negotiated that, once finances were restored a bit, that they would take, okay, you can make 8 payments of this, zero interest, and we'll consider it written off. I know there's tax implications and things on the end of what you save from these loans will be added to your income for taxes. That's a part that will have to be dealt with, but it is far better. It is far better than trying to look at this animal of however much debt you've built up, and it seems impossible to come back from. A debt consolidation loan, for me, it was a lifesaver. We weren't going to be able to make the other $5,000 a month in payments. Wasn't going to happen. And now, as these loans are getting paid back, my credit is starting to climb again. As you start showing good payment history again, your credit starts to climb again. So I think that is, a great idea to look into. Another is, along with, not, stopping the gambling, ensuring you're not gambling in the future. You should only, if you're a compulsive gambler, have a debit card that might have $500 max on it, or just a tiny bit of cash. You shouldn't have access to any of the finances going forward. It should be handled with someone else. If you're in a spot where you live alone, you're the only one, it would be really important for you to have someone else help you, keep you accountable in the finances between, maybe an advisor that's out there, maybe just a close friend that can help you to stay accountable. But for the vast majority of people out there that have someone, stop taking care of the finances. You should have everything blocked off from your access other than access to just a single card where you can't do any more damage to keep adding to it. That is an important way to keep yourself away. What I've just noticed is for people that have stopped gambling for a decent period of time, things do get better. It just happens. It looks like a disaster, and if you try to tackle it as a disaster right away, you're going to end up making mistakes and trying to go after investments and things that are not going to help you in the long run. You're just trying to get everything paid back quickly. Instead, get yourself away from gambling as long as possible. And in my case, I can tell you the way that I felt nearly 600 days ago is much different than what I feel today. The weight of everything feels like it's on your shoulders and just pounding you that you're done. Time makes a huge difference, because when you have it in your mind, instead of flipping that gear from I'm going to keep gambling to try to get it all back to that is stopped, and I'm going to put my energy into something else that can help repay the debt in a positive way. Maybe you put more into your job that might pay more. You might get job raises. You might look for other jobs that's out there. The debt can be repaid and settled a lot faster than you believe if you first just stop the gambling. Get yourself at least 90 days and then start working a plan from there. In the first 90 days, if you got creditors hounding you, do all that you can to put it off and put it off. Pay the minimums just to get by until you're clear-headed. In 90 days, your head is a lot more clear if you've not gambled for 90 days. So that's a very, very important part. And again, aside from the debt consolidation loan, I will tell you that creditors, if you have stopped paying them or you've paid the minimums for a certain period of time for unsecured debt, they will start working with you. Negotiating with these companies, if it's unsecured debt, it's not tied to a car, it's not tied to your house, they will work with you, especially if you are only making tiny payments to the bare minimum or nothing. In time, they will start maybe making offers just to get it off their books. Breathe about it. The loans you're going to have to be carrying the most about are still, like a mortgage, a car loan, things like that that's tied to an important asset to you, your house, your car. Those are the ones that you're going to want to take care of and make a priority. So that would be another advice, is have a priority list of how you want to knock out the debt. And there are advisors out there that can help you. There are people even in, the meetings. If you attend a 12-step meeting, they can kind of help you with the finances to get back in shape. So the biggest things I will tell you, just as a takeaway, debt consolidation companies are out there for you. Prioritize the things that are tied to your secured debt, like a car, like a house. The unsecured, make less of a priority. Carry as little cash on you going forward to ensure you're not going to add to the problem. And give it time. It will blow you away through time, and you starting to do the right things and trying to put your money and repay things, it will start coming around. That it might be from a debt perspective behind you a couple years down the road, which is a lot sooner than you might ever think. I hope this helps. That's all I got for today. Like or subscribe if you like what you're hearing. Thanks.